Hey, Tony Gaskins here. I wanted to pop in today and talk to you about your ex. Now, maybe you have seen on my live Q&As on YouTube about people always asking about their ex. My ex this, my ex that, my ex that. And really think about that. When you give away your future focusing on your past, when you sit down and you look at it from the outside looking in, it really doesn't make any sense to allow someone who left you to have complete control over your life. And so it's really, when you look at it in a different way, it's kind of like driving forward on the highway, and imagine the busiest highway in your city, and you're driving on that highway, but the entire time you're looking in the rearview mirror. So when there's a traffic jam ahead, when somebody slams on brakes, when it's time to stop, you crash because you're focused on the rearview mirror instead of looking through the windshield. And that's what you have to realize. When you give your time, your thoughts, your energy trying to figure out your ex, you lose the power in the present and you derail your future. So you have to understand, whenever you hear the phrase, your ex is your ex for a reason, you got to believe it. You really got to believe it. You're going to have to sit down and just say it over and over and over. You may have to write it on your mirror. When you get up in the morning and you go to brush your teeth, your ex is your ex for a reason. You may have to put it above your door when you're walking out of your room door. Your ex is your ex for a reason. You may have to have it in your purse or in your wallet. Your ex is your ex for a reason. See, what you have to realize is when you're truly meant to be together, you're going to be together. And the person that's in the wrong, that's the person that's going to do the work to get in the right. So if you're in the wrong and you want to be with your ex and it was your fault that y'all broke up, then it's on you to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that you deserve another chance. But this video isn't for you. This video is for the person who it wasn't your fault that y'all broke up, and you miss your ex and you're thinking about your ex and you're wondering what he's doing, why he's doing it, and how y'all fell apart, and if he's ever going to come back again. That's where 99% of the questions about an ex comes to me from. And this is what I want you to understand. And I've said this 1,000,000 times is, well, why did my ex leave? Well, because he didn't want you. He did not want to be with you. That is why he left. And I know that is hard to hear. That is hard to hear. But a man will never leave a woman or sabotage a relationship if he feels she is his wife. So understand that now. And anybody you see asking this question, send them to this video. I don't know what I'm going to title it yet, but send them to this video. Get the link, copy it, have it on speed dial. Put it in your notes. So whenever you see somebody say you just got this link, before you come on a live Q&A, already have this link copied and just paste it in the chat. Because this right here, your ex is stealing all your thunder, stealing all your blessings, blocking all your blessings, hindering your progression, keeping you from being your best. And this is what you got to realize. See, with men especially, and I'm coming at it from this angle, so if you're on another angle, you may have to invert this information, or this just may not be for you. Share it with somebody who it's for. But what you got to understand about a man is that a lot of men do not know what a wife is. A lot of men do not know what they're looking for in a woman. Really don't know all of the qualities they should be looking for. Guys, if they get mature enough, they'll come to me and say, hey, Tony, what should I be looking for in a wife? what makes a good wife? And to be honest with you, that answer is so broad and, just such a long answer, because a lot of the things that a man needs in a woman, you really can't put it into words. It's intangible. And you feel it and you know it when you see it. When you have it, you know it. And you cannot mistake it for lust or anything other than a wife. And so when a man is just going, he's kind of like this. He's trying to get to the refrigerator to get some nourishment for his body. But he's like this. This is how men are in relationships. And he's feeling in the dark. And when he feels that cold handle, he knows that's a refrigerator and he's going to pull that open, and then he's feeling around for the water. That's what a man is doing in a relationship. And so he's going through just feeling in the dark. And then when he finally gets to you, he can feel. Okay? And if he feels a sting, a prick, if it feels different, then what brings peace, what brings comfort, what brings joy, if he feels something different, then guess what? He moves on with his life. And the thing about it is depending on where he was raised, who he was raised by, that is what determines how long he can stay in that situation. So if his standards are very low and he wasn't raised to be an intentional person, and he's just kind of, going through life with no aim, just wandering through life, then he may make a pit stop with you and may spend 5 years. Some men were raised so recklessly or so aimlessly that they can give you 10 years, 15 years of their life and not really care, because they don't feel like they're losing anything, because they never valued their life. And see, that's important when you meet a man, to understand, does he value his life? Meaning, how was he raised? Who raised him? What are his goals? What is his work ethic like? What is his ambition like? Like, how does he see life? You will find that out in conversation. If you see he's just this happy-go-lucky, no real goals, no real aim in life, then you know he will waste time with you. But see, the thing about it is, what women get confused is, this is what you have to realize. If you're a man's ex and he was with you for 2 years or more, and y'all didn't get engaged or married, then he just was wasting time with you. So if he gave you 3 years, 4 years, 5 years or more with no engagement and no marriage, he was wasting time with you, but cheating on you in his free time, in his spare time. May not have been full-fledged, drawn out escapades, but he was cheating on you. And that's how he was able to waste 3 years, 4 years, 5 years or more with you. He had other women that were keeping him busy. Now, on the other side of this, what you have to realize is that, yes, a man can meet you and not know what he's looking for and downplay you. He can downplay what you bring to the table. And he can think that there's better out there. Because if I found you, then maybe I can find better. Some men are under that impression. So yes, a man can meet you. You can be an amazing woman. You can, incite joy, peace and happiness, love, nourishment, fulfillment. He can feel all of these things. But if he's a selfish person, if he's a greedy person, if he is a person who has a scarcity mindset and he's just always looking to get what he can get, and he doesn't have a grateful heart with an abundant mindset, then he can downplay what you bring to the table, tell himself that there is something better, and then he moves forward. So he moves forward, and then guess what? He gets with another woman, maybe another woman, maybe another woman. He may go through 1, 2, 3 different women. He may get with one woman and cheat on her with one or two or three other women. So now, when he's gone for those 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, 24 months, he may have received or gotten enough experience to compare to you. And then what he's found is that these other women don't compare to you. So now what does he want to do? He wants to come back. Is it out of love? No, it's out of selfishness. Because if he operates with an abundant and grateful heart, when he had you, he would have just settled with you. He would have settled down with you and said, wow, I found someone who really brings me to life. I feel amazing. Like, why be greedy and go looking for something else when I have everything I need right here? That's the type of man you want to be with. If a man has to sabotage the relationship, cheat on you, make you leave him, make you break up with him because he's not man enough to say, you're not what I want and I'm going to move on with my life. Some men aren't, so they will sabotage the relationship, make you break up with him to stand up for yourself. But you're just breaking up with him because really you just want to teach him a lesson and you want him to come back. You're waiting on him to come back in your life. And so what happens is he sabotages the relationship. You break up with him. You're sitting still wondering if he'll ever realize your worth and come back. And he moves on with his life. And he's doing all this other stuff. And in this process, a man could trip up on his wife, find a wife. He could get a woman pregnant. They could start a family. And you're sitting there standing still, waiting for him to come back. And so you've passed by your husband 50 times. You've derailed your hopes and dreams of starting a family with a new man or getting married 50 times because you're standing still waiting on your ex to make up his mind and to come back into your life. So you're treating yourself as an option, not a priority. You're treating yourself as sloppy seconds. You're telling yourself that I don't deserve better. I don't deserve a man who knows and recognizes and realizes my worth the first time around. You're saying to yourself, I'm only good enough for a man who has to go out, sleep around, date around, and compare me to multiple other women in my face with me having knowledge of him doing it and then deciding that I'm the one he wants to be with and then accepting him with open arms when he comes back. That is the weakest and the dumbest thing that you can do. And excuse my French, I just, for lack of better terms, that is horrible. That is absolutely horrible. So listen to me. Whether he left you or you left him, it's over. It is over. Move on with your life. Move on with your life. You're not waiting. You're not standing still. You're not, sitting there twiddling your thumbs, hoping and praying that y'all get another chance. Listen, if it's meant to be, he will come back and he will prove himself beyond a shadow of a doubt. He will prove himself. He will do everything and anything, things that you're not even asking. He will be doing those things. And you will know and feel in your heart and be able to say, wow, he has changed. And you will have the comfort and the peace and the inclination to move forward with him. You will say, you know what? It's worth another chance. Even if it fails, I can get back up and move on with my life if this fails. But it's worth another chance. I felt that much love and I feel that strongly for this person. It's worth another chance. Now, if you cannot say that, a young lady asked in the Q&A one time, she said, well, how do I not have resentment for my ex while we're trying to make it work? And I said, you shouldn't be trying to make it work. If you feel resentment, if you gotta force yourself to not feel resentment, hate, disdain, anger, frustration, bitterness, spite, all of these toxic emotions and feelings towards your ex and you've let your ex come back, you made the wrong decision. You should be able to forgive and forget if you're going to take your ex back. You should be able to do coaching and work on the relationship with a smile on your face. I call it service with a smile. That's the space you should be in if it's meant to work out. If you gotta grit your teeth and bite your tongue and woo-saw and do cool down techniques, counting from 10 backwards, then you're forcing it. You're forcing it, and it's not supposed to be. That's what you got to understand. That's what you got to understand and move on with your life. Because realize this. Now think about this. And this is where I was going. Do you think someone who had you, a man who had you, okay, he was with you. You gave him your time, your energy, maybe even your body. Maybe even your body unprotected. So you gave him the opportunity to impregnate you, to in disease you. We're going to make that a word, that means to put a disease in you. Okay, to disease you. And you gave him the opportunity to do all those things. Like if you slept with him, okay, and especially unprotected, you're saying here, give me HIV, syphilis, herpes, gonorrhea, chlamydia, all of this. You gave him, you down there just like this. Give it to me. HIV, you got it. You gave him the opportunity to put anything in you. You risk your life for him. When you allow him to insert himself in your body, you risk your life. You risk altering your life, changing your life forever, even if it's just by child. And that may be your situation. So let me help you understand this. So you saying to me that a man that you risk your life for when you got on your bike, a man that you gave your time, your energy, and your effort to for years. I'm not talking about for 3 months, 6 months. I'm talking about for years, a year or more. And he still sabotaged the relationship or walked away from the relationship. You're telling me that that man, after going and sowing his wild oats and doing what he wants to do, deserves to come back to your body that has just been sitting there waiting on him. After he goes out and does what he wants to do and then realize, oh, she actually better than these other women. Oh, let me go back to get her. Let me go back to get her since ain't nothing else out here. That's what you want? You want to be sloppy seconds? You want to be a man second thought? You want to give the chance, give your life, give your body, and give yourself to a man who couldn't appreciate you the first time around, who didn't want you the first time around. But because he has no other options, because he realized that you're going to serve him. And see, this is the thing. It don't mean that you're better than the other women. You could be dumber than the other women. You could be weaker than the other women. And he want to come back to you because he knows you're the one he can cheat on, he can beat on, he can lie to, he can manipulate, he can use. See, you're the one who will loan him your car, loan him money, let him live off of you, let him live with you. Say he got fired from his job and he just living off of you. You're the one he can get over on. And this man does not want to be held accountable. This man does not want a woman that's going to stand her ground. Or let's say you stood your ground and you broke up with him. Well, if you let him come back and then you say, well, let's get coaching, and he says, no, we don't need that. We can work this out on our own. We don't need a third party in our relationship. Then guess what? He doesn't respect you. He doesn't respect you. He's not in love with you. And he's not willing to put in any real work for you. If you say, let's get back in church on Sunday, even if it's closed down right now, let's watch it online. And he says, no, I don't want to do that. I really don't believe in God. I'm not really into that stuff. That's not your husband. If that's what you believe in, that's not the man for you. If you say, I don't want a man who's going to be smoking because I don't want that in my lungs, I'm asthmatic, or I don't want that in my child pores, I don't want my wall turning yellow, I don't want to be kissing an ashtray. And he said, well, I'm not giving that up, or this is what I do, this is what men do. That's not the man for you. If you don't want a man who gambles, who watch nasty movies, who curses like a sailor, and he does any of those things, that's not the man for you. What you have to understand is that if you have to make any concessions for your ex that have to deal with your morals, your values, your standards, then you're choosing the wrong person, and it's because of your desperation. And it's because of a soul tie that you have not addressed and began to heal. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get to the place to where you say, okay, in order to get over this here ex, I got to really kick it into high gear. Now, I have some clients in this space and they're doing the work. You're going to need to do up to 12 sessions of one-on-one coaching. And what I mean by that, that's on a weekly basis, just, getting it out. You just talking. You just expressing yourself. You just telling what you're thinking, what you're feeling. And it may seem redundant. It may get a little boring. You may not have much to talk about. But guess what? That's the space you need to get to. Because when you think about it, when you're talking about your ex with all your friends and family, they tired of listening to you. And you're never going to stop doing that because it's not costing you anything. But when you taking and you putting your money where your mouth is, meaning you making an investment and now focusing on your ex is costing you your money, your savings, you going into credit card debt because of your ex, it hits different. When you just get to have free conversations, talking to your friends and family, driving them crazy, and then they got to get off the phone and talking bad about you behind your back, all she does call me, talking to me about that man, that old sorry, stinking booty man. She calling me. I got my own life to live. I'm out here trying to fight this here 19, and that's all she want to talk about is this man. I've been telling her for the last 2 years that man don't love her. He over there sleeping with Lisa, and she don't want to hear it. She's sitting there. The girl ain't even bathed in the last 2 days, waiting on this man to call her. And I just don't know how to get through to her. I told her she need to watch Tony Gas video, but she don't want to do that because she think that's a scam. She think that these people don't know what they talking about. But yet she want to call me like I know what I'm talking about, and I'm tired of listening to her. That's what your friend's saying to her mama. When you hang up with your friend, that's what she calling y'all other friend, and that's how they talking about you. That's how they talking about you. Because they tired of you. Everybody in your life is tired of you talking and focusing on this stinking man that did not see your value and your worth, and they want you to see your value and your worth and to get up and move on with your life. Stop waiting on the relationship to be rekindled. Stop waiting on the man to come back. But see, this is the thing. A lot of people, see, your friends, they can't tell you like I'm telling you. They can't tell you that because they got to look at you. They got to see you. They got to hear from you. They got to talk to you. They don't want to hurt your feelings. They don't want to hurt your feelings. But when you go to a professional, that's what that professional is paid for. To hurt your feelings. To tell you what you need to hear so that you can do what you need to do. That's what the professional is there for. And that's what you're going to have to do. So you're going to have to do some real work. Then you're going to have to go on Amazon and start getting you some books. It's all kind of relationship books out there. And once you get one, if you bought A Woman's Influence, that's going to show you some other ones. If you bought Make It Work, that's going to show you some other ones. And then as you start to see, when you start to look around and you start to see what's out there, and you're going through these books, whether you're reading them or you listen to audio, guess what? It's going to start to help you because you're going to get new knowledge. And I always talk about new knowledge. But the thing about it is when you take and you getting this knowledge and you hear a scenario that happened in your relationship and you didn't understand that scenario, and when you hear about the scenario and what that means, you're like, whoa, okay. So when he did that, that was control. That was abuse. Oh, did not know that. So now you're able to take that thing that's been bothering you, you're able to box it up, put a label on it, get it out your life, instead of it being the elephant in the room and you just going back and forth with all of this stuff that happened, that was said, that was done, and you can't decode it because you're not a man and you don't understand it. So, but when you read this here book from a man and it's describing male behavior, now you like, wow. Or vice versa. If you're a man and you getting over your ex-woman, man, you read this book written by a woman, or you talk to a woman professional and get insight on what does this act mean? What, when she said this, what does that mean? Now it helps you have closure. So understand this. You have to start if you're thinking about your ex, that means that you don't have closure. You got to give yourself closure. So you got to get the knowledge. And when you get the knowledge, now you're able to identify what every behavior meant. Next thing you're going to need is you need affirmation. You got to affirm yourself. You got to smell yourself. You got to remember who you are. You got to remember who raised you. Now, for some people, that wasn't a whole lot. And if it wasn't a whole lot, then you're going to have to create your own affirmation. What I mean by this, if you was raised by wolves, if you was raised, if you were homeless, if you were abandoned, if you were in a group home, if you went through that type of stuff, then you may say, well, my upbringing wasn't much. My upbringing wasn't something that I could be proud of. Then guess what? Now you got to create it. You got to create it. And literally, be very practical about this stuff. Like you can get a 3x5 card and write affirmations on there that just says, I am worthy. I am enough. I am beautiful. I am smart. I am talented. Whatever you need to say to yourself, put it on that card and stick one on your mirror in the morning. Put one in your purse or wallet to read at lunchtime. At night, you're reading it on your mirror again. You're reading this breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You reading this and you getting this in you. And you saying, you know what? I'm worthy. I deserve more. My wish is the universe command. Like what I say is what I'll have. I'm speaking this thing into existence. Like my life will not end here. I'm not going to be stuck, single, and lonely for the rest of my life. I'm going to attract love. Like, be very practical about it. And if you got to write it down and read it to yourself, then do that. Write it down and read it to yourself. But you have to stop focusing on your ex. And a lot of times people say, well, I cannot stop thinking about my ex. I can't stop. Look, that's a soul tie. And until you immerse yourself in new knowledge, wisdom to get understanding, then you're going to be stuck thinking about your ex over and over and over. So what you're going to have to do is you have to create your days. You have to give your days direction. It's never lack of time. It's a lack of direction. So you got to give your days direction. So today you plan your tomorrow and you break it down by the hour. So if I wake up at 6, go brush my teeth and get ready. Okay, 6:15, I'm reading my Bible. 6:15, 7:15. 7:15, I'm getting dressed. While I'm getting dressed, I'm listening to a YouTube video. I got the phone sitting there. It's on the charger while I'm getting dressed. Out of the house by 8. When I'm leaving from 8, driving to work, I'm listening to that YouTube video, audio book, going to work. Get to work, now you focus on work. I'm gonna be the absolute best worker in this entire company. Or if you work for yourself, I'm about to take this thing to a whole nother level. Boom, I'm getting it. These people gonna want to give me stock in the company. These people gonna want to shoot me up the corporate ladder because they ain't never seen this kind of output. You don't give your mind time to think about anything else other than your work. And you trying to be the most efficient and effective worker who's ever in the history of this job done this. You hear me? And that's what you do. Lunchtime, boom. You get your lunch, you go sit down, you put your audio book on or your YouTube video on, and you listening. You lunching and learning. After lunch, you back to work. All right. After you get off work, you got another video or another audio book that your audio book that you still listening to, because they may be 7 to 14 hours long. So boom, you back on your audio book. You get home or you leave work, you going, maybe you work out in the afternoon, and so you going to the gym. You in the gym or you work out at home, walking around the neighborhood or in your house, you listen to your YouTube or your audio. You finish that, now it's time to eat. You get them vitamins in you, okay, get your vittles in you. Now, while you eating, you listening and learning, unless you got family. If you got family, you got kids, or you got, little brother, sister, mama, daddy, uncle, cousin, then it's family time. You got kid, boom, it's homework time after work instead of the gym. It's homework time. It's family time, dinner time. If you by yourself and you single, then you listening, you learning. Soon as you finish lunch, you calling your loved ones. Dinner. You calling your loved ones. After you call your loved ones, you might talk to, it might be 1, 2, 3, 4 people that you want to talk to in your life every day. Your mother, or your father, your brother, your sister, your best friend. You call and you give 30 minutes. Hey, I got 30 minutes. Just want to check in with you. You have some time. If they have time, then you talking to them. If not, you calling the next person and you spending that time. But here's the thing. On these calls, you let them know the first time when you starting this, on these calls, your ex off limits. Your ex is off limits. You can't talk about your ex. They can't talk about your ex. That's off limits. You talking about your day. You talking about the stock market. You talking about this here. You talking about y'all president, and he got people drinking Lysol and all this other stuff. And so y'all talking about that. And then after you get off of that right there, you might have you a show. 8 o'clock might be your show. 8:30. If you don't have a show that you want to watch, then get back to your learning. Get back to your learning. Put your YouTube video back on or your audio book back on, and you listen to that. Come on, 9 o'clock, 9:30, whatever your bedtime, or you get your show in by 10 o'clock, you need to be getting on ready for bed. You might, for your subconscious mind, when your head hit that pillow, stuff get quiet. Stuff get quiet, and everything that you've been running from in your subconscious may try to come up, and that's when you may think about your ex. Put this video right here, a video like this that's talking about dealing with ex. You might want to put something like this on and just let it play. Let it play to distract your subconscious so that you can fall asleep. And then you keep that routine. And so however your day look, but I just walk you through a day. When I changed my life to become the man that I am today, I had to take drastic measures. I literally had the earpod. Okay, that's when we used to have these. We got AirPods now. But these here, this is how I used to be. Because I was at work, working in the group home. This is how I used to be. I used to have that boy in right here, just like this. So I could hear you over here. I could hear my clients. I could hear my co-workers. Okay, what you said? All right, when I ain't listening to you, I'm right back over here. listening to this here good YouTube video, podcast, and then when I'm talking to you over here, okay, I can hear you. But guess what? While you talking that foolishness, I'm tuning you out. I'm looking at you nod my head, but I'm listening to this right here. Okay? The workers, my bosses, they never told me, Tony, take that out your ear. You can't have it in your ear. Take it out your ear. You know, I'm not an EMT. If you're not a first responder, then you can have you one of these in your ear. Okay? And so that's what I was doing. And 8 hours, 10 hours a day. And when I wasn't doing that, I was working. I was working on building what you see today, building my brand. I was working on it. I was mapping it out. I was planning. I was putting the pieces of the puzzle together. I was putting my plays together. And I was completely focused right there. That's how I changed my life. And so that's what you're going to have to do. You got to stop playing with it. Okay? You got to stop sitting there complaining, coming on the Q&A all the time, talking about that ex, and you got to start doing the work. You got to start doing the work. Now, let me tell you, when the work really start to pay off is when you truly making an investment in yourself. When I took and spent $300 to go to a seminar, oh yeah, I'm finna change. I'm finna change. You ain't finna waste my money. When I took and spent $1,000 on a course, oh yeah, we finna get some changes now. We finna get some changes. When I spent $1,300 on a seminar ticket for that conference, to go to a conference in another state, and you got to book a flight, and you got to book a hotel, oh yeah, we finna get some changes. We finna get some change. When I took and spent $100 on a ticket for a seminar in another country, oh, we finna get some changes. Now, just the act of me doing that, it activated things in my life. That $1,300 event, I bought a ticket for an event. It was in somewhere, Colorado, somewhere like that. And I ended up getting booked to speak in the Bahamas that same weekend. So I had to ask for a refund, but they had a clause to where they keep $400 of the $1,300. And so lost $400. Old raggedy Michael Hyatt, sorry, but kept $400 for the refund. Okay, all right, I give you that, Mike. So yeah, but even that $400, guess what? It came with a return because I had made an investment in myself. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. When you sitting there and you just doing all of the free, guess what? You're not sowing a seed. So what you doing is you trying to make yourself, you want to pat yourself on the back. Because you saying, I'm doing the word. Yeah, I'm listening to YouTube every day. Yeah, I listen to podcasts every day. That's not a sacrifice. That ain't no sacrifice because all that free. So you ain't sacrificing, and that's why you still asking about your ex a year from now. But when you go to Barnes and Nobles and you buy you a book. When you go and you sign up for right now a virtual seminar, I don't have any for you. When you take and you go sign up for a coaching session on mymentor.life with one of those coaches, even if the coach is $25 an hour, it's coaches on there for $25 an hour. Guess what? You just sowed a seed in your healing. Because when you take action, when you really take action, when it costs you something to grow, when you got to sacrifice to grow, that's when you gonna reap your harvest. But when you just sitting there and you going through the motions, trying to fool people that you doing the work, but you really ain't doing the work because it really ain't costing you nothing. It really ain't no sacrifice for you. You ain't got nothing but time anyways. Then you're not going to grow. It's like this. This is what you doing. Picture yourself on a treadmill, right? You on a treadmill, but you got a big box of KFC chicken. And you on the treadmill and you like this, huh? You on that treadmill. Then you get off the treadmill and you go get on the Peloton, okay? And you on your bike at the house. Now, did y'all know the Peloton will let you finance for $39 a month? This ain't no paid advertisement, okay? I got me one on the way. It's a $3,000 bicycle now. But you sitting there and you on your Peloton, but now guess what you doing? Eating your peanut butter and jelly. That's how y'all look when you sitting and just going through the motions, waiting on your ex to come back. But you're not really taking real action to heal and grow. You got the video on, but you ain't listening. You going to the live Q&As on YouTube, but you ain't paying attention. Your question has been asked 10 times. You ain't listen to the answer 9 times. Then you come ask your question. And you asking the same question somebody else just asked. Because you're not doing the work. You're not invested. You have told yourself, I'm going to wait this thing out till me and my ex get back together. Instead of telling yourself, it's over, I'm moving on. Guess what? I wrote a book a long time ago. I don't know if the ebook still out there. They probably took it down. That might be the ebook they took down, talking about the quality of it. I wrote an ebook a long time ago called The Road to Destiny. I don't think it's still on Kindle. I need to republish it. But basically what I was talking about is life is like a road to destiny. So what I'm saying is you got to get in your vehicle. Don't speed. Don't be looking in the rear view too long. Don't stop at the rest stop for too long. Don't pick up no hitchhikers. So I gave these different analogies about being on the road to destiny. And this is what you got to realize and understand is when you break up with your ex, you got to hop on the road to destiny. And I want you to picture this. You hops in your Lamborghini. Okay, even if you in a Toyota Tercel, it's a Lamborghini today. You hop in your Lamborghini and you hit the flow. Okay, you gone, pedal to the metal. And your ex, you drop them at the last rest stop. What your ex gonna have to do to catch you? Your ex gonna have to go into their bank account and call a Uber. Get them Uber back to their house, get in their car, get on the road to destiny, get on that gas, and when you stopping at the rest stop, they ain't got time to stop at the rest stop. They got to be flooring it at the speed limit. They gonna go 10, 15 miles per hour over the speed limit to make up time when you at the rest stop. And so when you get back on the road, they done gained an hour on you. And your ex got to catch up to you on the road to destiny. Okay. Wave you down. Hey, below. Okay, your ex got to wave you down. All right. While your ex driving, got to show you. You hear me? Your ex got to show you the work they done did. So that when you look over at your ex, you like, it's a lot of work. They showing you me. They pulling up the phone. They got the phone. Tony Gaskins. Been listening to him. You hear me? So your ex, now what your ex did, your ex done caught up to you and ain't just begging you, ain't just begging and crying, okay? Your ex done told you everything they doing. They done did the coaching. They done read the books. So now you like, okay, all right. You hit that blanker. You pull right on over there in the rest stop. Okay. All right, let's have a conversation. But see, here's the thing. You wasn't sitting at the rest stop waiting on your ex. You got back on the road to destiny and you about your business. Your ex had to go through extreme measures to catch you. You wasn't sitting there waiting with the door unlocked and open. You was about your business. Your ex had to flag you down, catch you, chase you, flag you down. And then when you get out at the rest stop, listen, because you already spent plenty of time with your ex, when y'all get out at the rest stop and y'all talking, in that 30-minute conversation, you gonna know if your ex really bought that change, if your ex really made a change, or if your ex is full of it. And then you're gonna be able to make a decision on whether y'all gonna get this thing another shot, or whether you gonna get back on the road to destiny and go on about your business. Point blank period. Listen to me. Point blank period. It is not rocket science. So you're gonna have to make a decision today. You're gonna sit around looking like who shot John and forgot to kill him, waiting on your sorry ex, or you're gonna get up, get on about your life, close the door, change the locks, and go on about your life. You hear me? Your ex need to come back with a warrant to enter your place. And what I mean by that, they need to come back warranting a second chance because of the changes that he or she has made. And if you can't see the changes on them, smell the changes on them, hear the changes in the conversation, thank you. Hey, great talking to you. I'm gonna wish you the best, but this is not gonna work. So if you would not mind, just politely lose my number, and please don't reach out to me or any of my friends or family members, because I am moving on with my life completely. And you just nice, cool, calm, and collected. Let your ex know that. Just let your ex know that. Any problems that your ex have, we will have the boys in blue over here expeditiously, and we are not entertaining and going back and forth. Not all the psycho babble. You want to jump bad, you want to be boohoo crying. No, need to show up and show the change, or shut up and move on. Hey, it's Tony Gaskin. God bless you. I got to get ready to coaching a few clients today. If you need a life coach, make sure you visit mymentor.life. I typically put it in the description where it says book a session with myself or another coach on mymentor.life. I'm never hating. I love to see all the coaches on the site getting booked. So please, if my schedule is booked out too far for you, find you another coach. You know, anybody will do. They all certified and professional and listening to where your heart is at. Hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon.